What is up, YouTube? And I'm back. I'm your host, James, for our Week 5 weekly digest for the NCL Season 2. And we are, of course, joined by our co-host, Captain Slinky himself.
Hello.
And we are joined by a very special guest today that you guys have not seen in quite a while, unless you watch our Soul Links. But resident return to monkey himself, man, Chris.
It's me, man, monkey boy, returning to monkey here.
Return.
What is up, Drama Alert Nation? What's up,
God.
party people? Mystery monkey here.
Mystery alt monkey here. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna hurry through today's digest. We're not gonna spend too much time on this week. There were a few transactions that we will talk about, and then we just have a multitude of games. We're just gonna hop right in it. And I'm gonna let Chris take the reins here because it is Mystery versus Chris that we have. So that is pretty cool. But I'm gonna let it play for you guys. And yeah, Chris, just let us know like your thought process and what you were thinking and stuff.
Yo!
Like that.
All right. So first off, when I was looking at his team, I was very surprised I didn't see Mega Mobile make an appearance. But then when I seen it, I was, brushed over the fact that, Necrozma could be set up, sweep the hell out of my team. So
yeah, and I think you made a really, really great play with your Rotom swap. We'll see that in a little bit. But basically going through, Dragapult was really cool. You used Dragapult really well, and then used Togekiss really well. And then the double from Togekiss into Rotom Wash at turn 13-14 was really great because then you got a really free Hydro.
Chris had such control of the battle up till turn 16, and then one turn.
Yeah, and then the grand word Ice Beam froze the Donphan.
It froze Peely McWheely.
It froze Peely McWheely, and then from that point on, there was really nothing Chris could go.
It went to
he had to hope that it was an Earthquake, which it was, and then he had to sack basically his Mons and just kind of pray and hope. And even though Mega Pinsir didn't die, it didn't matter at that point.
I gotta say, it didn't kill in one shot.
Yeah, and then Quick Attack didn't kill either.
I guess had a little bit of bulk on Necrozma.
Yeah, which at that point the Peely McWilly was frozen too, so it couldn't even ice shard it. So
when he swapped into Necrozma, when I was thinking about just sacking Donphan the turn, he went to the Necrozma, I believe is what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just, went something else.
Yeah, honestly, you probably should have hard swapped, but at the same time, like, that's not 100% your fault. Like, I get it. Like, the freeze just 100% sucked because I know Chris's, he kind of told me after the game, his thought process was he's going to let the Donphan die so he could go into his own Drapion and setup, which kind of would almost have swept Mystery on that point as well because Drapion was a really cool set. It was SD Adrenaline Orb for the Landos. For when the Lando came out, he outspeed everything on the field. And it was a really, really cool set because the Noivern was already dead. And that was the only thing. It was the only thing that could outspeed it was Greninja if it was Scarfed, which it ended up being, but he hopefully would have killed the Greninja, or the Greninja would have been chipped enough to where Drapion didn't die in one hit. So
yeah, when we mocked and you used the Necrozma, the setup set, and it just swept my team, that was kind of the scariest thing. I was hoping you wouldn't bring it, but it ended up coming and eating my booty cheeks.
Yeah, and then the freeze sucked, but yeah, basically Mystery's team is really good. It's just kind of how it is. We all live and die by my Necrozma.
Mystery's team is really good, and you got unlucky with the freeze.
Yeah. So overall though, Chris played amazing, especially for being kind of not having the best. I think he was definitely an underdog first of all, just because Mystery is such a good battler and has such a great team. But I think even matchup, and Chris played really, really well. And he definitely, I think, outplayed Mystery for the first 13 times.
The only thing that could have been done differently is hard swapping as soon as Donphan got frozen, but you're like, well...
That, and then tricking the Noivern was a little bit funny. Like, I wish he would have just killed the Noivern, but... Because he was Scarf Togue. But, other than that, it was a really good game. So I don't think there's much to talk about that after that. My game, we're going to go straight into it. If you guys didn't watch my what was it, battle. I did the video, of course, like I always do. The biggest thing was I just never had enough momentum to kill Slink's walls, and that's kind of what you have to do to beat Slink, as he can tell you. Like, that's how he built his team. And I played really, really well for, I think, the first, I want to say, like 8 to 13 turns, and then after that, I lost too many mons. I lost them critical mons to where I couldn't.
You lost the Talonflame really early, which gets like, all right, well, that's kind of the main issue for my team gone.
Mm-hmm. And then the critical hit, Slink did like 3 critical hits, one of which only was the man that added with the critical hit on the Talonflame, but at that point, it wasn't like, it's just kind of, it sucked, but I pressed fucking protect on an Urshifu, so it is what it is. It just hasn't been my year. I'm hoping to kind of knock this crap out and get back into it.
I mean, to be fair, Urshifu is the only mom where it's just like, I'm just going to click a move, and I don't care what you're doing.
Mm-hmm, that is true.
That move doesn't exist.
I mean, at the same time, though, you did press Surging Strikes, and my Tangrowth was meant to take the like, it was Rocky Helmet to chip the crap out of that thing, and then I just kill it later with Gale Wings or just a faster mon or priority.
Honestly, I figured, I didn't know if you were Gale Wings or Flame Body, so I pressed it fully expecting you to go into that and just be like, I'm just going to burn this Urshifu and have it be dead weight.
Yeah, which, I mean, I wasn't Flame Body, I was actually Gale Wings because Urshifu was such a big deal, and Flame Body's not guaranteed, whereas if I keep I have more control over Gale Wings than I do Flame Body.
Okay, but you forget, it's me. Flame Body is guaranteed.
You say that, Slink, but it's also me, and I have worse luck than you, so that means I would have never hit it, and you'd have been like, wow, the first game I don't get Flame Bodied, and then I'll go, yeah, makes sense. But basically, I lost the Celesteal and the Talonflame way too early, and then from that time, and then the saddest part is the defog play where he got rid of rocks for his own Arcanine, and then I broke my own Sash by going in Gengar on it, so that really sucked.
The bluff with Gengar was kind of...
That Scarf bluff was great.
I will admit, as bad as I have done this season, I will give myself a pat on the back. Even Will can tell you, because I've done this to Will at least twice. I am amazing at bluffing Scarf. I don't know what it is, but like I am really, really, really good at bluffing choice items. I love doing it. I love reading into the mind of my opponent. But yeah, the nasty
also,
ball on cool.
I don't know what made me decide to switch the turn I did into Alakazam on Talonflame. Something just told me it's like, you switch to Alakazam here.
Yeah, a Brave Bird would have hurt for sure. Like it would have done a lot, but it wouldn't have killed. So it wasn't like terrible. And weren't you recover anyways? So.
Oh, I don't think I had recover on that set.
Okay. Well, either way, I don't think like health on Alakazam was all that mattered too much in this game as well, just because it was coming in, clicking a button, getting out, or dying. So
yeah, no, Megazam does not care about its health.
But yeah, I just GG's to Slink. He played a really good game and he played me really well. I just didn't play well, and it kind of went on from there. Not much to talk about, but. And then we go on to our resident Rain Man playing Rain himself. It's from Tristan to Buxton. If my thing will load, there it goes. For this game,
Tristan keeping the 4-0s going.
He has this signature consistency that he's only gotten 4-0s or 0-4'd. So this whole season. Biggest thing.
Oh yeah, he got 0-4'd by mystery.
Yeah, he got 0-4'd by mystery. That's just the funniest part. But the biggest thing with this is that I think it's really weird that Ferrothorn wasn't here with so many. Like, I get Slowking gets Flamethrower, but you also have Rain, so it's not like the biggest, scariest thing.
Yeah.
And Ferrothorn just did a lot. Like, I get Mienshau's there as well, but you have Pelipper, you have Zapdos, you know? Stone Edge exists, but he has to make that read. And I don't know. It just felt like Ferrothorn needed to be here to kind of, like, tank that in. What was scariest too is like the very end turns. I was thinking about better ways to do it, and I don't think that there was any way. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but the very end where it was just Kingdra, Pelipper, Swampert. I don't know, because it was definitely different.
I was gonna say the only thing I can think of is if he had like Hammer Arm on Swampert to take care of the or gone for Draco Meteor against the cure him.
Mm-hmm. But basically, yeah, it was. Oh my God! Look what you should just annihilated me in show. But that makes sense. But yeah, basically from I think the good thing to take from this, it was this turn. It was 25. But
Yeah.
the good thing to take away with this is Buxton is definitely showing that he's like getting into like playing Rain, and it was really really good to see him like keep the Rain up. The Rain felt like it was up the entire game, so I really 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 like the fact that he's keeping the Rain up and playing to that strength, more of like how other players were saying, like Trick Room teams, even when Mai was Sun. Just keeping that, like once you keep the Rain up, you always have a chance, if that makes sense. Might be you need to click the right play, but you always have a chance when it comes to Rain. Because like maybe if you Draco Meteors there and kills the Kyurem, he still has Rain in the back that he just goes to Pelipper and then Kingdra can sweep, which is what Kingdra does. But yeah, definitely a good game. Buxton's still learning, but we're gonna say it every week like we do for the 5th time now. Rain is Rain. It was kind of just keep Rain up, try and outpace Tristan. But yeah, basically just that. But yeah, that's about it. Moving on to Will versus Aaron.
This was a really good game.
I actually have to go to replays because we don't have it in the thing, but I will pull that up for you guys.
I didn't get to watch it all, but it when I went in, like I think it was like mid-game, it looked like it was going really good.
It looked like it was going really good for Aaron.
This was a really, really good game for Aaron. Like,
yeah, it did.
He played really, really well.
He really did. Like, he played out of his mind this week.
Yeah. So I'm actually kind of watching this for the first time, low-key. The double knock on Mew was huge. I honestly don't know what Will was thinking there, swapping it in, but the double knock from Muckalola to Mew and just killing it right then and there was huge. Definitely huge.
Yeah.
And then whirlwinding out the Mega Sceptile when it SD'd was big, because I think Mega Sceptile almost probably could have swept the team at that point with SD.
Oh, yeah.
But and he just kept whirlwinding it out, which was really really nice. And then Weavile.
Anytime Will tried to set up, Aaron was ready with a whirlwind.
Yes, it was very huge. And then he body press killed Weavile, which was massive. This Skarmory just sat here and just Will couldn't kill it.
He just
so.
popped off.
I think it is funny too that Will brought the Stoutland without sand, so Stoutland was just here. But oh god, Calm Mind Clef. I've already seen it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then he'd set up and get whirlwinded out, which was really nice. So it was definitely a game of momentum, and Aaron kept it really, really well. Honestly, It's crazy how Will found a way to kind of come back from it.
Found a way.
Well, the thing is, it's like, even at the end, the kill on Muck from Stoutland was a roll.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm watching right now. But I think it's really cool because SD Sceptile, which is a set that I like a lot, and I love Mega Sceptile, but SD Sceptile was huge. Like, it did a lot to this team. And there was a cool taunt from Tapu Koko onto the Sceptile, so it could never set up and just sweep the team.
Yeah.
It was just forced to sit there and do damage. But yeah, I think this game was very close, and I think Aaron should feel very, very confident in himself because he played great. He played amazing.
You know, he played fantastically.
He got the crit 1,000 arrows too.
Yeah.
Oh, and he ended up killing himself because that's crazy.
Yeah, he was Life Orb. But yeah, this last turn,
that was nuts. I think Aaron played out of his mind, and Aaron, props to yourself. Will, I think played.
The shuck up made it a roll, and Will got the 33%.
That's crazy that it was a roll too. That's actually nuts, but that makes sense.
Yeah, no, because I'm thinking he just went for knock right there, and he would have killed.
Yeah, he definitely would have killed for sure. But GG's to Aaron. I think in a different world you get that roll, you win. But I just think that you should pat yourself on the back. A loss, your season's not going great. It's not definitely not going your way, but I don't think you should take away from that. You played against probably the best player, if not the second best, or up there tied with the best player in the
I
league.
gotta say he's up and he's definitely top 3, and you were
It's not even
a roll
questionable.
away from winning.
Exactly, and you played amazing. And for Will, I think it showed a little bit of overconfidence. Honestly, it showed a little bit of Will trying to do too much, if that makes sense. I feel like the Stoutland bring was a little weird. I get it, but like I would have rather had seen Excadrill, even if it was like Scarf Drill or Giggle and Fear.
I know why he brought the Stoutland.
I mean, because it did good damage to everything and it got good coverage.
It was the Spectre counter.
That is also true. That is also a thing. But at the same time, like,
Spectre.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense. Just because he didn't have a whole lot of it. But at the same time, like, Sandrill outpaced it and it, like, has a hard time coming in. If that makes sense, too.
Well, that's the thing, is that, like, dark types and normal types are going to have to be your answer to Spectre.
Well, he also, funnily enough, he also has Weavile, and I know that Will-O-Wisp sucks, but even a Willowed, like, Weavile knockoff is doing, like, I'm not joking, probably like 60.
I think I've done that calc and like plus a +1 and +2 Spectre. Almost one shots a Weavile.
With what? The Shadow Ball?
Shadow Ball. Yeah.
That makes sense, but I mean, you can go different things. But yeah, I get it. It's your Spectre counter, so I'm not gonna say like the team comp was terrible, but I just think like Will got a little bit overconfident for sure, and I think it showed. I think Will got another good win, and it's a cheeky win, but hey, a win is a win. But yeah, definitely don't beat yourself up over this one, Aaron. I think you played amazingly great, and I think you should keep that up. Keep up the momentum. Brand new team that we'll talk about too here coming up, so definitely for you to do it. So, and then we had Monster and Steph, which was, I'm not gonna stay on this game a little bit. I don't think Steph was ready for this game at all. He brought all max speed wands against Trick Room team,
and predictable things happened.
Yeah, so predictable things happen. I'm not going to go over it a little bit. And then what pissed me off a little bit is Scizor went in on this team too. Scizor did work, but it was SD only Bullet Punch with nothing to hit the Melmetal. And while it still sat there and tried to stall it, but it wasn't Rocky Helmet. It was Metal Coat, which I kind of understand, but like I wish it was Metal Coat or Rocky Helmet, because then it could definitely set up and beat the Melmetal one-on-one.
Here's my issue. If you run Swords Dance, please don't put on U-turn.
The thing is, okay, so I do have a little bit with this. Swords Dance U-turn is not the worst thing. Swords Dance U-turn on the Trick Room team is a little bit weird, especially since you want to sit in and you have priority, so you can always go first no matter whether Trick Room's up. I don't think Swords Dance like U-turn is like a terrible thing. Like Swords Dance U-turn Beedrill is one of the best things in the game. Swords Dance U-turn Scizor is a common set that is ran like if you're set up U-turn Scizor like on something that just can't take bug moves well, and then you want to pivot out still. Like if you want to set up and then U-turn and then just get good damage on the wall, like that can work. It works. But on a Trick Room team where this Scizor wanted to stay in most of the time, U-turn was just a wasted move slot that you never wanted to click. So, superpower would have been what I've put in there. I think the Roost was great. Max defense was really cool. But it just was at the point where Steph was very underprepared and it showed. And Trick Room just kind of had his way. But this is how we know. People over prep for Trick Room. Of course, when you face Trick Room, this is what happens when you don't prep for it. So, big thing, Steph. Good win for Monster, but I don't really have a lot to say for Monster. He just pressed Trick Room and pressed buttons. It wasn't like a crazy cool win.
I mean, yeah, that's what your team is designed to do, so kudos to you.
Yeah, and Steph, it's just, I'm hoping to build more with you, and I'm hoping to help you out a little bit more, but I think Steph's just either busy or not in the mindset, but big thing is just ask for help, or ask if you don't know, because...
Yeah.
It just showed that you didn't either care or you just were underprepared and really didn't look at matchup. So, yeah, basically that. So, because, like, Mon's like Raikou against this team, like, literally nothing on his team even, like, almost barring even Scarfers, can't catch Raikou. The only thing that could catch Raikou scarfed is Rillaboom. So, like, you just have to look at things like that. So, it's just, yeah, you need to ask for help. You need to ask. And yeah, that's basically it. I don't have much to say.
Yeah, this wasn't really a super interesting week for battles aside from, Aaron versus Will and Chris versus Mystery.
Yeah, well, there was one more decent battle that was a crit away from being a Smith win, but Smith's win, or not win, but game against Taylor. This game was great. I will have to agree. This game was really, really good.
It was kind of popping off too.
And Smith definitely played really, really great against Taylor. And I think he personally should have won. He played really well, but of course it came down to a crit that happened on a Reuniclus kind of sweep. Does Chris or Slink have anything to say about this? Because I really don't. It was just kind of HO versus HO, so a lot of things dying really fast.
Kind of mid.
Yeah.
Didn't we put a poll in the chat to see how long the battle would win?
We did. I don't remember how many turns it was, but I think the worst thing was Taylor sacking his Deante on a Registeel. Like, I don't remember what he was doing, but yeah, it was just at the point
where is this?
What I think is cool, guys, so I told this to Chris, and I think this is funny. I don't think anybody realized, right? So the one turn of Trick Room that was left and Hawlucha came in, the Naga was Scarf and made to outspeed the Hawlucha, which was really hilarious because technically in that turn of Trick Room, the Hawlucha still outsped the Naga.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really funny. I thought it was a different thing. But
where is this magical crit? What turn is this?
The magical crit was on the Torn T. Expanding Force didn't kill because it was AV. It was turn 18. It was turn
17.
Turn 17, and it crit. And if that didn't crit, I think Smith wins this game because it was AV, and Taylor can't outpace the Regenerator Mon, and he can't kill it. So it gets to the point where Hydreigon, Torn just kill everything else that's on the field.
Yeah.
So that's how we look at it. There might have been a way if Taylor would have done it like perfectly. I'm not saying that he would have just automatically won if the Torn T lived, but I'm just saying that it would have been very hard because Trick Room would have still been up first of all, so Naga couldn't have come in, or it would have just died to Hurricane. And then the Rotom would have had to come in, and you probably sack Hawlucha there to test out the Disarming Voice if it has it or not. But because the Hawlucha is kind of just not needed at that point. Like, you live one Disarming Voice and then you outspeed Rotom and you press like Acrobatics and just do a shit ton, and then you go Hydreigon and you just press Dark Draco Meteor, and then you just keep pressing it. Yeah. And then once it kills you, Torn comes in, it's regenerated back up. The Naga probably has to press Draco to kill you, and now you just win because Torn doesn't die to anything. Bar a crit. But yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's the game we play. Chris knows that all too well from a Ice Miss or Ice Freeze. So that concludes all of our games. We got through that really, really fast, and there was, I think, a few transactions that we do need to go over.
Yep, I want to say, well, we have
three transactions.
Yeah, we have 3.
So actually 4.
Nope,
I didn't realize 4. Yep.
Mysteries.
So our first transaction is a big one. Aaron transferred Tapu Koko to Buzzwole, Mega Lopunny to Mega Gyarados, Skarmory to Tornadus, regular incarnate, Mantine to Comfey, and Thwackey to Eldegoss, and Glalie to Rotom Frost. So I'm just gonna be honest, Aaron. Your team wasn't like great. It was HO before, but I think this makes it infinitely worse.
Yeah.
Maybe you're using mons you're a little bit more comfortable with. Maybe you're just aggravated at what you are now. Maybe you can make it work, but I think that you just went from mid-tier to like high-low tier, and it's very evident. I'm not the biggest fan of Mega Gyarados. I think it's overrated. It does one thing, and everybody knows what it does. You could do some cool gimmicky stuff with regular Gyarados, Intimidate Moxie kind of thing, but Mega Gyarados itself does about one thing, and it does that one thing well, but it's not like...
Like, don't get me wrong, Dragon Dance Mega Gyarados is a thing. And it's a
that's
thing
all
for a
gonna be.
reason.
Yeah. Torn, Comfy, Eldegoss, and Rotom Frost just seem like all downgrades, honestly, from Scar and Mantine. I know Thwacky, Glalie, you added better grass, and then Rotom Frost, which is cool. You upgrade there, but like your mid tiers just fall exponentially to Torn and Comfy. And don't get me wrong, Torn is cool. Torn is a good mon.
The thing that I don't understand about, dropping the Skarmory is that you played so well with it.
That is true. That is also true. And he just picked it up 2 weeks ago. So, I don't know about it, but we'll see how it goes. I don't have a lot to say. It's more of preference. And I think that Aaron, he's 0-4, so at the same time, I get it,
0-5.
A big change, or an 0-5. So a big change might have been needed. I don't know if this is it, but we'll see. If he goes on a run with it, so...
I'm going to say he's facing me this week, so...
A big test, so I'm rooting for you, buddy, but... you got to show me something. I know you're not, Slink. But, also, if we're talking about Tristan's, we actually have him. You guys, he hasn't talked here, but he has joined us. Hi, Tristan. How are you doing?
Oh, hello. I just joined. I didn't actually know you guys were recording, but it's okay.
Well, actually, we're almost done. We're almost done. But we're actually going to go over your transactions right now. So if you want to give us a little bit of insight.
Tristan, you should make another transaction to me.
There was a little bit for Tapu Koko, but yeah, Tristan, go ahead.
I did do some stuff. So, pardon me, I'm playing a game while I'm doing this, but I was waiting a long time to find a way to get Swampert on my team because I thought it fit so much better than Primarina, and I mostly just wanted a better hazard setter than Rhyperior, because Rhyperior is not bad, but there's some matchups that it straight up just cannot come to.
That's true.
And so I was thinking, when am I going to find this opportunity? And all of a sudden, me and Mystery are sitting in call, and he's like, "Yo, Tapu Koko just got dropped," and I was like, "Well, this is my chance."
That's what I seen it, man.
Tristan, I just want you to know too, while you guys were working, I'm not joking too. Chris is going to cry about this a little bit. So Chris really wanted Tapu Koko as well. He saw it, and he's been wanting it forever. He actually offered Aaron a trade before Tapu Koko was dropped, but Aaron let him know, like, hey, this pawn might be dropped, so Chris was waiting for it. As soon as it was dropped, he already had a plan. I'm not joking you, though. Chris spent 15 minutes deciding what 1-point mon he wanted, and that's what cost him Tapu Koko, because he could not figure out
that was the case.
What 1-point mon and I was there frustrated. I'm like, Chris, you need to put the transaction in. He's like, no, nobody's gonna pick it up. He's like, I got time. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Tapu Koko is going to go. And he's naming like every 1-point mon, and I'm like, sounds great. I'm like, Chris,
take Koko.
I was like, Chris,
go now. Please go now.
Yes, basically what I was saying. And then next thing I know, I hear a bing, and then I hear Chris go, just deep breath in and go, fuck! And I'm like, what? And then he's like, Tristan took Tapu Koko, and I'm like laughing my ass off. I'm like, that is your fault.
I'm sorry, Chris. I love you.
To talk about the thing,
Give it to me.
to talk about this, I really do like this trade for Tristan. I agree. I think Swampert is infinitely better for his team than Primarina. And offensive water was just not really needed. And even though it is especially bulky, he had so much special bulk already on the team that it just felt kind of... it was good for like the niche games it could come as a Scarfer, and that's how it felt.
Well, you know what? I let him have Tapu Koko because my team is already pretty good. I just let him have it. I just.
But Corsola Galar at first I didn't like because I don't like this one.
Games in week 1.
Yep. Yep. Slink has to bring it up at least once, but
every week.
But
because I prepped for you. You had that and you threw it away.
All right, let me talk about Tristan's fucking transactions. But I think, like I was saying, Swampert is infinitely better than Primarina, and then I think it's also definitely an upgrade for Rhyperior because if people don't know, it did get the niche flip turn, which is really, really great for Tristan's team. He loves pivoting. He loves pivoting from Mega Scizor, from Swampert, into things like Tapu Koko, which gives him another pivoter, funny enough. So his team is definitely bulky pivot, and I love it. Tapu Koko gives him another offensive niche to pair with Kyurem, which can be really great because I love his offense now with Mega Scizor, Cinderace, Tapu Koko, Kyurem and Mienshao, so I think that's really cool. But you go
I'm
ahead,
gonna be
Slink.
perfectly honest. I love the Coco switch. I love the Swampert swip. Why are you doing my boy Dwayne dirty?
Because
What do you
Rhyperior
mean?
Swampert, it's the same thing. You don't need both on the same team.
I just didn't need both.
I gotta go to the bathroom really quick. Like,
All right.
really quick.
Okay.
All right. Well, Chris will be
fun.
gone for the rest of this because we're gonna be finishing up. But I honestly don't like Corsola Galera much, but I understand.
I don't like it that
fits.
much either. I will say I didn't pick it because I love it. I just was like, it's a different typing,
It does
and
give
you know, it
different
gets strength sap, which is a broken move. So
stuff. True.
This is
maybe
very
it can
true.
do some things.
So moving on, we do have a little bit of a smaller trade. We have two smaller trades. The South Side Snorlaxatives picked up a Rockwanid and Shedinja for dropping Espeon and Quilladin. I think it's cool because it gives HO with webs and a little bit of needed bulk on the special side. Just because I HO, I get how you play it, I do, but I just I can't fathom, I can't wrap my head around it because I'm like, bulk, where's the bulk? But
Yeah, Shedinja is so bulky.
yeah, for sure, 1 HP. But Shedinja is just there to get all rock winded. That's kind of what it's there for. But I do like their rock pickup. Webs is really cool with it. It adds a little bit of added dimension to it, and its attack stat is nothing to sneeze at. It's pretty good, and it hits pretty hard. So I think that overall, I'm gonna say that it's very mid. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's bad, but I think it does give you webs, and that's about it. You lose a little bit of a train abuser, but whatever. At that point, you pick up webs to make up for it. So
Yeah.
I don't mind it
It's
too
a
much.
it's a cool swap, and I also love the style points of making your bench warmer a literal husk.
It's true. And then mystery. This is the biggest one, in my opinion, to like other than Aaron and then Tristan. But he dropped Cobalion and Noivern for Nihilego Druddigon. So in my opinion, I love mystery, but I think this actually made the team a little bit worse. I think Druddigon's cool, and Nihilego adds a little bit of like an added special attacker. I get it. It gives him toxic spikes and another like it gives him. He dropped a 1 rocker for 2 rockers, but he also dropped 2 initiative mons for
Yeah.
mons that
'Cause, I mean,
don't get any initiative.
the fun part about Cobalion is the Mon gets Volt Switch.
Yeah, which and it is also like an offensive rocker that is niche,
Yeah.
very very niche, but so is Nihilego. I get that
Yeah.
it does add the toxic spikes, but he had so many rockers already, and then plus spikes, he had double spikers that it just like it's cool. It definitely is
got Lando
cool,
and-
but like I don't know.
So you got Lando, you got Lando, Necrozma. I think Mawile gets spikes,
No, it doesn't get spikes, but it gets rocks.
or not rocks is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
And then you have Greninja, Chestnut for spikes.
It just felt like you already had a lot
Yeah.
of hazards and setup like that. And
Well, you know who doesn't have hazards is my Twitter account. Make sure you follow me,
oh my
Mystery
God.
Blessed Bacon.
And this episode's just getting hijacked by all the losers.
Yep, we
Brendan.
got Mystery here. He is here. I was just gonna introduce him, but he had to introduce himself. That's how it goes.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's
So
what it is.
we're just going over your transactions too. Funnily enough, Tristan joined for his, and you joined for yours.
Love to see it.
And you can kind of give us your thought process on it. I've kind of talked
so
about it.
I heard you, going in on the Nihilego a little bit. That's fine. I understand it. Nihilego to me was another special attacker because outside of Rotom Heat, like Rotom I've been bringing a little bit more defensively, and then it felt like a lot of times Gran was like forced to carry a special load. So I wanted to get a bit more special offense. I also wanted a better lead because I think Gren has become too much of a staple lead on my team, and people like Will, and I think like if I fight Tristan in playoffs, they're going to pick up on that. So I wanted a much better lead. And then Druddigon, I wanted a better fire switch in because, I don't know, like Noivern fucking blows. And
You have an entire Rotom Heat and Tapu Fini.
okay, but like Fini hasn't, it's only been to half the games. And Rotom Heat, I would like to run a little bit more offensively, and I think Nihilego helps with that. And then having Druddigon also helps with that as well.
You know what you could do?
Hmm.
You could drop Mega Maw for Mega Aggron and do the same defensive core I had for FBL Season 9.
I mean, I love Mega Mawile, so I'm not going to do that, but it's an option.
Understandable. Have a nice day. Mega Mawile was great.
True.
I will kind of I understand all of Mystery's like reasoning, and I actually 100% get it, and I kind of really agree with the Nihilego lead thing. I think it does give him a better lead. I don't like because Cobalion is so niche. It is a decent lead because of Volt Switch and stuff like that, and Noivern is too, but and I think that kind of got lost in there. But I don't know.
I disagree. I don't think Noivern's a very good lead. You don't hit hard enough to really do anything, and it's too fast to where like you can U-turn into people, but it gives the other person initiative if like the U-turn doesn't do that much to them.
I mean that's true, but it also like if you get I don't know, we could argue back and forth with it, but I think that it's a decently like mid lead. I don't think it's terrible. But you do get a Druddigon who is on the ground. I guess it doesn't care too much about dragon moves because it
really
is a
not
defensive
a dragon
anchor.
that uses its stab very often, so I felt pretty comfortable being in misty terrain with that.
Yeah, but I mean it will show that it does hit pretty hard if it needs to. So it kind of sucks.
It's got like
that
I think
it
base 1, I want to say 20 attack.
It's got really high attack, and it has a really wide move pool, which is really cool.
Good ability. It's got great move pool. It's got rocks.
So I'm not gonna hate on it. I'm very I'll have to see it in action, and I think
that's fine. I
Mystery
totally get that. You know, I'm not trying to be praised for every move I make. I think this is a move that it's also not just for the Pokemon, but it's also to get more points. I need to get up from 11 to 13 to make a trade that I'm trying to work on. So if Nihilego, you know, if I don't think it's a good fit, I can move this this point total a little bit easier than I could with 11. So I'll just put it out there.
Fair enough.
We'll see if this trade happens then. But thank you all for coming. That's gonna
wrap
up.
Make sure you follow me on Twitter.
No, just you know what? We're gonna kick Mystery. Give me a second. But thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. This has been a really great weekly digest. I'm glad we could grab a bunch of people to join here. That was really fun. And we'll catch you guys next week. Next week will be our week 6, and we will be our last week of weekly digest until the break week is after, which me and Mystery have to battle. But that's more going to be covered in my team builder and battle, and I personally will probably do a little post-battle recap just because I don't think we're going to have a weekly digest unless some big trades are happening. If like a big trade happens or a big drop happens, we will have it. If not, then we won't have the weekly digest.
All right, guys. So, I'm just gonna say I'm dropping Dragapult right now.
Yes, sir.
I bet.
I'm dropping my whole team.
Everybody's just dropping their number 1 mons, so that's what's gonna happen because I'm saying this. But definitely thank you guys for tuning in, and definitely tune in for next time. Leave a like, subscribe, and join everybody here. Of course, follow Mystery on Twitter like we always have every single week. And then Slink does a Twitch stream, so definitely follow him on that. I think it's Slink, if you want to go ahead and say that. I don't remember yours.
Twitch.tv/Captain Slinky, all spelled out.
Okay, sounds great. So definitely follow him, and then of course follow me and Chris on our Soul Link adventure that we're doing, running through Diamond and Pearl. Leave a like and subscribe right here on this channel, and thank you all for joining. We really appreciate it. See y'all next time, and catch you on the flip side. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.